Hey skiers, I'm Jeff from Skiessentials.com. Welcome to our Top 5 Friday ski industry news videos. Before we get into the news, today is January 29th, which means you have, well, including today, you have 3 more days to get your photos into the January Ski Happy photo contest. You could win a pair of Enforcer 88s. Yeah, you can enter photos through Sunday, and then we're going to do the same thing that we did last month, where we pick the top 3 and then let you guys decide the winner on Instagram. So keep an eye out for that. We'll probably have that up on Tuesday. So on Monday, we'll pick the top 3. We'll post it on Tuesday, and then let you guys vote probably through Thursday or something like that. And then maybe we'll announce the winner or share the winner in Top 5 Fridays next week, which could be really fun. In other updates or just Ski Essentials announcements, we've been super busy testing 2022 skis. It was, we had a negative 51 or negative 52 degree wind chill on the top of the mountain today, and still managed to get some runs in. Today we were with Black Crows, so can't wait to share all that information with you when we can. Yeah, we've got a ton of stuff to share with you guys throughout the remainder of the winter and over the summer and stuff like that. So yeah, can't wait. We got a ton of really fun content that you guys can look forward to. And with that, we can get right into the news. So first, we'll do some FIS World Cup updates. We had a slew of women's races since we last spoke. We had 2 women's downhill races in Switzerland and 1 Super G. Kind of the highlights out of those was Breezy Johnson she picked up a 3rd and a 5th in the downhill races. Breezy's now 2nd overall in the downhill standings and 14th overall in World Cup point standings. Then the women traveled to Italy for a giant slalom race. Most notably there, Michaela Schifrin picked up a 4th, which is great to see. You know, she's not always on the top step of the podium, but Michaela's had some really, really solid results this season, and she's actually sitting at 6th in the overall standings, which is particularly notable because she's only been competing in slalom and GS. So I think everyone above her has at least participated in 4 disciplines, I think. I'm pretty sure everyone above her has participated in 4 disciplines. So pretty cool to see Michaela that high up in the standings. On the men's side, not quite as positive of a week. I expect you guys probably heard about this. It actually happened like very shortly after the last Top 5 Fridays video. But unfortunately, Ryan Cochran-Siegel, who we've been talking about a lot recently because he's been skiing really, really well and getting some really good results, he took a pretty bad fall in Kitzbühel and suffered a relatively minor neck fracture, but a neck fracture is still a neck fracture. Thankfully, there is a chance that we'll actually see him back racing before the end of the season, which kind of sounds crazy. You know, broken neck and then back skiing just a couple months later. But hopefully we do. Hopefully his recovery is really quick and he comes back healthy and strong. Highlights from those downhill races were we had Travis Ganong picking up an 11th, Jared Goldberg in 19th, and Bryce Bennett in 24th. And then 2 days later, that same trio, they went 12th, 24th, and 41st. So pretty solid. You know, the men's team I think has been showing up this year, and it's good to see some results like that. I also thought it was worth noting that I think Lindsey Vonn did a really good job in her commentating debut in the women's races. It was really interesting to kind of get her take on things. I think there were multiple situations where she provided some insight and anecdotal information that you wouldn't have received otherwise. So yeah, great job to Lindsey Vonn, and hopefully we get her in more and more races this season. I think that would be really fun to see. Next topic is the X Games actually starts today. So we mentioned that last week. officially kicks off today. In fact, women's ski big air is today at 4, which is in like 10 minutes. So hopefully we wrap up in 10 minutes so I can watch that. But yeah, it'll probably be over actually by the time I get this video up. But it's on YouTube, or they're streaming it on their YouTube channel, so you can watch the replay right after you watch this video. And then we get men's and women's super pipe tonight. Men's is pretty late. I don't know if I'll be awake for that, but same thing, you'll be able to watch a replay really easily. Tomorrow we have women's ski slopestyle in the afternoon, and then men's big air tomorrow night. And then Sunday we have men's ski slopestyle at 1 and ski knuckle huck at 8:30, which is quickly becoming a fan favorite. So yeah, X Games is starting. Women's snowboard slopestyle was this afternoon. I'm not sure who won, but yeah, that was kind of the first big event. So it's underway. Pretty excited to see what comes out of that. Third topic of the week. This is an article out of Vail Daily. So we got some kind of consolidated COVID thoughts from Aspen CEO Mike Kaplan and Vail CEO Rob Katz. And kind of the summary, if you want more detail, you can definitely go read that article. But summary of what they were saying is that out of the COVID season, so to speak, there have been some winners and some losers. So it's kind of interesting to get their take on the effect that it's had. I don't really think any of these things are surprising. I wasn't surprised when I read their opinions. There are some things that are pretty interesting. So kind of the big winners are the real estate markets in mountain towns, which we're seeing firsthand here in Stowe. Home values have gone up through the roof, and people are definitely buying. It does create an interesting dynamic where it's, you could say it's more challenging for a existing resident who is not a homeowner to move into homeownership. But I think the benefit is we'll probably get some increase of year-round residents in mountain towns, which usually really, really helps the economy in off seasons. So kind of some winners and losers there within that winner. And then service and retail are kind of the biggest losers, which isn't surprising by any means. And then something that I thought was really interesting is Rob Katz kind of cited the market crash of 2008 and what their company did right after that. And he kind of suggested that there may be a post-pandemic buying spree in the sense that we could see some new Vail acquisitions over the next few years. Basically, he was saying that after situations like these, resort ownership are often more willing to negotiate. So yeah, there's plenty more from that article, so I definitely encourage you to go check that out if you're interested. But yeah, I think that's a big one, and it'll be interesting to see if that comes true post-pandemic. And then this is a fun one. Over in Lahti, Finland, they have the world's first urban ski sharing program. There's a huge Nordic ski culture there. They've sent like tons of athletes to the Olympics. And it's really cool. This reminds me a lot of like the scooter or bike sharing programs that you see a lot in cities. Basically, you can rent skis from one of 3 locations and then drop them off at any of those locations. So pretty cool. Encouraging more people to get out and be active, another way to make it a little bit more accessible. And they're even saying that hopefully this is a new, eco-friendly mode of transportation that people might consider, which I think is great. Skis were invented as a mode of transportation, and they're not really used for that as much anymore. Even people that are going cross-country skiing, generally it's not like destination-based, or you're not like cross-country skiing to the grocery store and then cross-country skiing home. Although now that I think about it, I think I could actually do that from my house. So maybe I will. But yeah, I thought that was really cool. And hopefully we see more and more of those popping up. And then finally we have our edits of the week. So some really good edits this week. This first one is my favorite by far. You've probably seen it, or at least some of you have probably seen it because he has an incredible following. But it's aptly called A Bit of Skiing. Just a bit of skiing from Candied Thovax. And gosh, it is incredible. I've probably watched it at least 10 times. It's only 2 minutes long. The music is fantastic. Candied skiing just continues to blow my mind. The guy is absolutely insane. And then we get a full-length film from the bunch. It's called Is There Time for Matching Socks? And the bunch are a very creative group of skiers. And I think notably in this, the filmmaking is just off the charts, really, really good. So take a look at that, even if you're not interested in kind of the urban style skiing that most of these guys do. I still think it's worth watching at least some of it because the filmmaking and the videography is just, yeah, it's really, really good. And then we got a short film called Butterfly from Kim Boberg, who actually also makes some appearances in Is There Time for Matching Socks? I really like Kim Boberg skiing. He's very style-based skier, I think is fair to say, but he's also a very, very strong, athletic person. So that's always a really cool combination to see. And then we have a short edit from Matchstick Productions called 2 Years of Shred with Sam Cooch. And kind of the subtitle of this is he the best skier in the world? And it's a cool little story. You know, he was relatively unknown a couple years ago, just doing roofing, and they're kind of telling the story of like, is this roofer now the best skier in the world? And well, I don't think so, because like, just watch that 2-minute video of Candied. I don't know. I'm biased, but I still think Candied's the best skier in the world. Sorry, Sam. You're an incredible skier, absolutely incredible athlete. You're doing things on skis that I certainly would not want to, especially now, maybe when I was 10 years younger. But yeah, unbelievable. But I'd still give that title to good old Candied as best skier in the world. And let me know in the comments. I'm sure a lot of you would disagree with me. I'm sure a lot of people would like look at it more from a racing perspective and stuff like that. But to me, Candied is a special skier, and yeah, he'll always be number one for me. So that's it. That's Top 5 Fridays of the week. I'm gonna catch the start of women's ski big air right now, and then we'll talk to you next week. Oh, and don't forget about Ski Happy. Get those photos in, and then look out for the voting judging next week. So we'll talk to you soon.